Before we dive in, I want you to picture something with me. You stand up from your chair. And for a split second, the room feels slightly unsteady. Or maybe your feet are cold even though everyone else in the house feels perfectly warm. Perhaps your legs feel heavy at night, or your fingers tingle while you're just sitting still. Most people over 60 brush these things off. It's just aging. It's normal. It happens to everyone. But as a vascular health specialist, I can tell you something important. These are not random annoyances. They are quiet signals from your blood vessels. You see, poor circulation rarely announces itself loudly in the beginning. It whispers. It shows up as mild fatigue, brain fog, numb toes, cold hands, subtle leg discomfort when walking longer distances. And here's what concerns me most. Many people wait until the symptoms become dramatic before taking action. But circulation problems don't develop overnight. They develop slowly as inflammation builds inside the arterial walls. Over time, blood vessels become less flexible. The inner lining, called the endothelium, becomes irritated. Blood flow becomes less efficient. Oxygen delivery drops. When oxygen and nutrients don't reach tissues properly, the body responds with mental fog, slower thinking, leg heaviness, cold extremities, reduced stamina. Now, here's the encouraging part. This process is not fixed. Your blood vessels are living tissue. They respond to what you eat daily. Certain natural fats, when chosen carefully, can calm inflammation, protect the arterial lining, and improve blood flow. But here's where many people were misled for years. They were told all fats are dangerous. So they switched to highly processed vegetable oils, thinking they were making a healthy choice. In reality, many of those refined oils promote inflammation, especially in adults over 50, and may actually stiffen arteries over time. What you cook with every single day quietly shapes your circulation. Your kitchen decisions either help your arteries relax or push them toward damage. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through 7 specific oils that research has linked to healthier arteries and smoother circulation, plus how to use them correctly. And just as importantly, I'll show you which oils may look harmless, but could be silently working against your heart. Small changes at the stove can lead to warmer hands, lighter legs, sharper thinking, more stable blood pressure. So stay with me because this could change how you look at your cooking oil forever. Let's begin with number 7. And this one surprises many of my patients. Sesame oil. It's been used traditionally for centuries, yet it rarely gets attention in modern circulation discussions. But from a vascular science standpoint, sesame oil contains something very special. It's rich in unique antioxidant compounds called sesamin and sesamol. These aren't just fancy names, they actively protect your blood vessels from oxidative stress. Now let me explain why that matters. Inside your arteries, oxidative stress acts like microscopic rust. Over time, it irritates the inner lining of the vessel, the endothelium, which is responsible for helping arteries relax and widen. When that lining becomes inflamed, blood flow becomes less efficient. Sesame oil's antioxidant profile helps calm that irritation. Several studies suggest it may support healthier blood pressure levels and reduce low-grade inflammation inside arterial walls, which is one of the earliest drivers of plaque development. Another advantage, it's relatively stable under moderate heat. That means you can use small amounts for gentle sautéing without it breaking down as quickly as many refined vegetable oils. But here's where I need to be clear. Sesame oil is still concentrated fat. If someone already struggles with elevated triglycerides or excess calorie intake, overusing any oil, even healthy ones, can create metabolic stress. For most adults over 60, I recommend no more than 1 to 2 tablespoons per day total from all oils combined, not just sesame. Used thoughtfully, sesame oil can be part of a circulation supportive pattern, but it should complement your meals, not dominate them. Now, let's move to number 6, avocado oil. This is one of my personal favorites for patients who want something practical and heart supportive. Avocado oil is rich in oleic acid, an omega-9 fatty acid strongly associated with improved cholesterol balance. Here's what that means for you. When oleic acid replaces refined carbohydrates or damaged fats in the diet, LDL cholesterol, the type associated with plaque buildup, often decreases. Meanwhile, HDL cholesterol, the protective type, is preserved or sometimes improved. That shift alone lowers the conditions that promote arterial narrowing. But what makes avocado oil especially valuable is its heat stability. Many people want a healthy oil but still need something safe for roasting vegetables, pan-searing fish, or light sautéing. Avocado oil tolerates higher temperatures without rapidly oxidizing. And that matters because once oils oxidize, they flip from anti-inflammatory to inflammatory. For individuals with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, which becomes more common after 50, avocado oil can be particularly helpful. Stable blood sugar and anti-inflammatory fats work together to reduce vascular stress. When used regularly but not excessively, avocado oil supports smoother blood flow, healthier cholesterol balance, better arterial flexibility, reduced inflammatory burden. It's not about using more oil. It's about using the right oil correctly. Now, the next one on our list creates a lot of debate, and I'm going to explain it clearly in part 3. Now let's talk about number 5, and this one tends to divide opinions. Virgin coconut oil. Some people swear by it. Others avoid it completely because of its saturated fat content. So what's the truth? Here's what I tell my patients. Virgin coconut oil behaves differently than most other fats because it contains a high concentration of medium-chain triglycerides, often called MCTs. Unlike long-chain fats, MCTs are absorbed quickly and sent directly to the liver, where they're rapidly converted into energy rather than easily stored as body fat. Why does that matter for circulation? Because excess body fat and insulin resistance are strongly linked to vascular inflammation. And vascular inflammation is what stiffens arteries over time. There's another interesting point. When used in small controlled amounts, some studies show virgin coconut oil may increase HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol. HDL plays a protective role in something called reverse cholesterol transport. In simple terms, it helps carry excess LDL cholesterol away from arterial walls and back to the liver for processing. That's beneficial for keeping vessels cleaner and more flexible. Now here's the caution. Virgin coconut oil is still high in saturated fat. More is not better. For adults over 60 concerned about heart health, I suggest limiting intake to about 1 tablespoon per day at most, and not necessarily every single day. Used sparingly, it can be helpful. Used excessively, it can work against your goals. Balance is everything. Now let's move to number 4, and this one is fascinating. Black garlic oil. If you've never heard of it, you're not alone. Black garlic is made by slowly aging fresh garlic under controlled warmth and humidity. This process transforms its chemical structure and dramatically increases its antioxidant strength. One compound becomes especially concentrated during aging, SAL-cysteine. From a vascular perspective, this compound helps neutralize oxidative stress inside blood vessels, the very process that contributes to plaque development. But it doesn't stop there. Research suggests black garlic may help lower LDL cholesterol while gently encouraging vasodilation, which simply means helping blood vessels relax slightly. When vessels relax appropriately, blood moves more efficiently to the brain, heart, and legs. This can be especially meaningful for adults who notice cold hands, cold feet, leg fatigue, mild brain fog. Another benefit: it's gentler than raw garlic. The aging process reduces harsh sulfur compounds that can irritate the stomach, making it easier to tolerate while still preserving cardiovascular benefits. Now, I don't recommend using black garlic oil as your primary cooking oil. Think of it more as a functional addition, small drizzle into a salad dressing. A few drops over steamed vegetables, mixed lightly into hummus. Used this way, it becomes a targeted circulation supportive tool rather than a heavy dietary fat. And now we're entering the top 3. The next oil is one of the most powerful plant-based options for calming arterial inflammation, but it must be used correctly. Let's talk about that next. Now we're entering the top 3. And number 3 is one of the most powerful plant-based oils for calming arterial inflammation. Flaxseed oil. Circulation health is your priority. This oil deserves serious attention. Flaxseed oil is the richest natural source of alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. And omega-3s play a critical role in regulating inflammation throughout the body. Here's why that matters. Chronic inflammation inside the arterial wall is one of the main reasons blood vessels stiffen with age. When vessels lose flexibility, they struggle to widen and contract properly, and circulation becomes less efficient. Omega-3 fats from flaxseed oil help protect the endothelium, that delicate inner lining of your blood vessels responsible for regulating clotting, controlling vessel tone, supporting smooth blood flow when the endothelium is healthy. Blood moves more freely and the risk of abnormal clot formation decreases. For adults over 60 concerned about stroke risk, leg circulation, or early signs of atherosclerosis, this protection becomes extremely valuable. But here's the important warning. Flaxseed oil is very fragile. It does not tolerate heat. Cooking with flaxseed oil destroys its beneficial fatty acids and can even create harmful compounds. This oil must always be used cold. You can stir it into yogurt, drizzle it into a smoothie, mix it into salad dressing, or even add a small amount to oatmeal after it has cooled slightly. And because it's concentrated, about 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon daily is enough. Now let's move to number 2, and this one has the strongest scientific backing of all. Extra virgin olive oil. This is not just tradition. This is evidence. Large population studies consistently show that people who consume extra virgin olive oil daily have significantly lower rates of cardiovascular disease. In some research, risk reductions reach up to 30 to 40%. But what makes it so powerful? It's not just the fat profile, it's the polyphenols. Polyphenols are natural plant compounds that actively reduce inflammation inside blood vessels. They also protect LDL cholesterol from oxidation, and oxidized LDL is what sticks to arterial walls and forms plaque. When LDL stays in a more stable, less reactive form, it's far less likely to contribute to narrowing. Extra virgin olive oil also helps maintain healthier overall lipid balance, lowering total cholesterol while preserving HDL. Another reason I recommend it frequently is versatility. It can tolerate light cooking without losing its protective properties. But to maximize its benefits, I often suggest using it raw, drizzled over vegetables mixed with lemon as a dressing added at the end of cooking. For most adults focused on vascular health, 1 to 2 tablespoons daily is sufficient. And consistency matters more than quantity. Used daily, extra virgin olive oil becomes a steady protective force for your arteries. Now we're at number 1, and this isn't just a single oil. It's a strategic combination that works on multiple layers of circulation health. And when used correctly, it may be more powerful than any one oil alone. Let's break that down next. Now we've reached number 1. And instead of a single oil, this is a strategic pairing. Because sometimes, in nutrition, synergy is more powerful than isolation. The combination is chia seed oil plus extra virgin olive oil. Let me explain why this pairing is so effective, especially after age 60. Chia seed oil delivers a highly concentrated source of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids. As we discussed with flaxseed oil, omega-3 southhelp.com inflammation inside the vessel wall and supports smoother blood flow. But chia oil brings something unique. Helps reduce blood viscosity, meaning it supports thinner, more fluid movement of blood through small vessels. That can be particularly helpful for people who notice cold fingers, cold toes, or heaviness in their calves. Now combine that with extra virgin olive oil. Olive oil contributes polyphenols that protect the endothelial lining and enhance nitric oxide signaling. Nitric oxide is essential for vascular flexibility. It tells your arteries when to gently widen and when to contract. As we age, nitric oxide production naturally declines and vessels become stiffer. So here's what happens with this pairing. Omega-3 South calm inflammation inside the vessel while polyphenols protect and soften the lining. Nitric oxide signaling improves blood flows more smoothly, arteries respond more efficiently, you're supporting circulation from multiple angles at once. Now let's make this practical. One simple morning ritual I sometimes suggest to patients is 1 teaspoon chia seed oil, 1 teaspoon extra virgin olive oil. Mixed into warm, not hot water, add a few drops of fresh lemon. The warm water supports digestion and absorption. Lemon adds mild antioxidant support and stimulates digestive enzymes. This is not a miracle cure. It's a gentle, consistent vascular support habit. And consistency is what matters most. This combination may be especially helpful for adults who notice cold extremities, mild leg fatigue when walking, slower mental clarity in the morning, early signs of reduced peripheral circulation. Now, here's something important. This does not replace medication if you're under a physician's care. And if you're on blood thinners, you should always consult your doctor before increasing omega-3 intake. But as part of a balanced dietary pattern, this pairing can act like daily nourishment for your vascular system. Small daily habits create long-term arterial resilience. And now we need to talk about something just as important as what to add. Because some oils, especially after age 50, may quietly increase inflammatory burden and work against circulation. Let's discuss which ones to limit and why. Now we need to talk about something equally important. Because improving circulation isn't only about what you add, it's also about what you remove. After age 50, the body becomes far less tolerant of chronic inflammation. Recovery slows. The endothelial lining becomes more sensitive. And daily dietary stress accumulates faster than it did in your 30s or 40s, one of the biggest hidden contributors to vascular inflammation. Highly refined industrial vegetable oils, talking about mass-produced soybean oil, conventional canola oil, corn oil, K, and generic vegetable oil blends commonly used in packaged foods and restaurants. Here's the issue. K. These oils are heavily processed. They're often bleached, deodorized, and exposed to high heat during manufacturing. That process strips away protective antioxidants and leaves behind fats that are more prone to oxidation. Many of them are also high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6 isn't inherently bad, but when consumed in excess without enough omega-3 balance, it fuels inflammatory pathways inside the blood vessels. Over time, this background inflammation irritates the arterial lining and contributes to stiffness and plaque development. And because these oils are so common in processed foods, many people are exposed to them daily without realizing it. Another major concern: reheated cooking oil. When oil is repeatedly used for frying, it undergoes chemical changes that produce free radicals and toxic byproducts. These compounds directly damage endothelial cells and impair nitric oxide signaling. That means higher blood pressure, reduced vessel flexibility, poorer leg circulation, increased cardiovascular strain. I also want you to be cautious with misleading labels. Words like light, cholesterol-free, or heart-healthy don't guarantee quality. Often, they signal highly refined oils that have lost their natural protective compounds. Instead, look for cold-pressed, unrefined, extra virgin stored in dark glass bottles. Storage matters more than most people realize. Oils should be kept away from light, heat, and air. Oxidized oil loses its anti-inflammatory benefits and can become harmful. And here's something else I emphasize to my patients. Healthy oils are still caloried. More is not better. For most adults, 1 to 2 tablespoons total per day from all sources combined is sufficient to support circulation without creating metabolic stress. Consistency matters far more than volume. If there's one message I hope you take from today, it's this. A single spoonful of the right oil used properly can function like quiet daily medicine for your arteries. This isn't about trendy superfoods. It's about intentional choices in your kitchen that shape your vascular future. So here's what I suggest. Pick one oil from today's list that you haven't used before. Try it consistently for 7 days. Pay attention. Do your legs feel lighter? Are your hands warmer? Is your thinking clearer? Is your blood pressure more stable? Small shifts are powerful signals that your circulation is responding. Your kitchen can either increase inflammation or reduce it. Choose wisely and let your daily habits protect your heart, brain, and blood flow for years to come.